Hello, and welcome to a Paladin's Guide to Prot Paladins. Go figure I would finally get to doing my own favorite spec. A little late, but it's a thought that counts. Today we're going to cover Glyphs, talents, and the Prot Paladin specific abilities, along with probably some other ones as well, as long as looking at some of the mechanics to the class. Please note, we are not level 90, so we don't get the really cool stuff. All we get is blinding light. Anyway, moving right along from that disappointment. Our level 15 ability is or talent I should say, is a speed type ability to increase your ways of movement. Whether it be via judging a target and increasing your speed, or just a straight passive with holy power increasing it more, or a dash ability. Before, I would have never picked up the dash until I actually got to use it, and it's actually quite nice. It even kind of doubles as a defensive cooldown. Oddly enough, it's actually saved my life a few times. Next we pick up Fist of Justice, which replaces your Hammer of Justice, and basically guys, it just decreases the amount of time that the ability is on cooldown by half, which is really nice. And for leveling, it's probably best. Repentance being a pretty good second choice as well. But it has a cast time, and cast times are annoying while leveling. Next we would pick up Selfless Healer. Before, I would have never picked this up based on its live version. However, the fact that it decreases, your judgment decreases the amount of mana and the cast time of it by 35% per stack, 100% I believe at the end, so it makes it an instant cast, which after you kill a target will cause it to be a critical cast. Get the groove there? Normally I would have went for Sacred Shield, however after testing with it, I'm not too fond of it. It does have its advantages, but I'm not too fond of it. And Eternal Flame is also pretty good. I've probably wanted to try that a lot, but I haven't, just because spending extra holy power on it has kind of been outweighed. Moving on. Don't care about these two at all, I'll be honest. Could care less. Don't like them. Won't probably ever pick them up. However, Hand of Purity is a great ability that puts the Hand of Purity onto a friendly target, and it reduces the amount of damage harmful periodic effects have on them by 70% for 6 seconds. This has been amazing for PvP, for leveling, and for dungeoning. This is all around the best level 60 thing you can pick up. These two are nothing compared to it. And last but not least, we have our level 75 ability, in which case I choose Holy Avenger. Albeit, Sanctified Wrath, good. Holy Avenger, really good. Divine Purpose, sucks. Blizzard. Really? Anyway, Holy Avenger. 2-minute cooldown. Your abilities that generate holy power will generate 3 charges of holy power for the next 15 seconds. So, basically, Crusader Strike, Judgment, and Hammer of Righteousness, which shares a cooldown with Crusader Strike, cause you to instantly get max holy power. Yeah, pretty damn amazing to being able to build up your Shield of the Righteousness buff to increase the amount of healing for your Word of Glory. You stack it up 5 times and you have a crazy amount of extra healing from your Word of Glory. But we will cover that in a second. Let's move right along to Glyphs. These, for the most part, are pretty, you know, there's a few extras in here that you could pick up. But, ooh, they actually added the protection. Nice. Okay, I didn't know that. They added it so that you know what it's actually for, because I didn't realize at first that consecration was only for protection now. But moving right along. Glyph of Alabaster Shield. Your successful blocks increase the damage of your Shield of Righteousness by 20%, stacks 3 times. I've noticed something. Sorry, I'm going off on a wild tangent. I do apologize. But I've noticed, and I like, the fact that Blizzard's going more with these charge type abilities. If you've noticed from some of my other videos that, like, Hand of Gul'dan has 2 charges. Your roll for your monk has 2 charges. I think hunters have something that has 2 charges. I'm really liking the way that they're doing this. It, to me, adds a lot of things. And you even notice that these have charges, but that's kind of silly, right? Oh, also, if you see my mouse go off the screen, that's because I have 2 monitors now. Yay, me. Anyway, moving right along. So, this is good because of this. You spam this, and this is up. You're causing a lot of damage to go out. Not to mention that you're going to want to pop this with your wings. Yeah, crazy amounts of damage. So next would be the Glyph of Avenging Wrath that I choose. With your Avenging Wrath being active, you're healed for 2% of your maximum health for 4 seconds. Or every 4 seconds while it's up. Let's see, it's up for 20 seconds every 4 seconds. So that's a total of 5. 5 times 2, 10. 10% of your health. Probably should have did my math beforehand. But hey, I don't need a calculator to do math in my head. Thumbs up. So last but not least is the Glyph of Consecration. This allows you to target... Jesus. Why? Okay, whatever. This allows you to target your consecration. Like such. Sorry, Yak Rat. It's pretty damn awesome. I'm sure you could probably get away with something else. For example, this one, meaning you have no mana cost at all. Or possibly your Divine Protection. Divinity. Double Jeopardy is a good one. Why does it say Exorcism all when only one gets Exorcism? That's retarded. Unless they change something. I'll have to check that in a second. Or even your Hammer of Righteousness, but things die too quick. Holy Wrath, not really good. Immediate Truth would be one I would recommend. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Sorry, I'm just going through real quick looking. Maybe that one. That one I could see being really good. But it only lasts 6 seconds, so maybe not. And of course, we can't even get these, but Max Exorcism would be... Wait. What was the Glyph of... Sorry. Well, that would be good. That would be pretty good, actually. Yeah, I don't get it. Anyway, moving on. I like this glyph, so I use it. It's great for pulling mobs. It's great for all kinds of things. And then, of course, you're able to bubble Hearth. You get this cool little ability right here, which I'm sure you've seen, where you ponder the nature of the light. And then last, your Judgment depicts whatever you happen to be using. And then you might notice this little UI change, which basically is showing you what your spec is. If you go to this, see it's got the hammer, nothing big, nothing important. And yeah, moving on to these though, I don't know the point of it and I don't like it, so won't ever choose it. I don't see why I would want that on a single target. Maybe CC purposes. Maybe. I don't know. But moving right along. You can tell, as I said before in my other video about this, you have your Sil bar, which replaces your Aura bar, which makes me sad that they didn't do something cool for auras, but whatever. Let's go ahead and pull this up. You have your Argent Defender, which reduces the damage taken by 20% for 10 seconds. While Argent Defender is active, the next attack that would otherwise kill you, instead it heals you. It causes you to be healed for 15% of your total health. I tend to find that judging when I'm going to die being difficult within such a short amount of time. But the 20% damage reduction is good. Not on a 3-minute cooldown. Not too nifty. Avenger Shield, same as before. You hurl your shield at the target, you cause a lot of damage, you interrupt them, and it jumps. And it affects up to 3 targets, and it skips over any CC targets. Consecration is protection only. You can obviously drop it wherever if you glyph it. And it's on a 9-second cooldown. This is 1 second longer, or excuse me, 1 second, yes, 1 second longer than it used to be back in Wrath. Don't know why, but it is. I'm sure that's probably for some cooldown purposes that they got for us, but yeah. You do have Binding Light at level 87? Yeah, 87. I wasn't all into this ability, and I'm still not. Because it breaks, it seems to break whenever they take damage. So, yeah. If you're using your Seal of Truth, you tend to, yeah. Sad face. I want Seal of Blood back. I just want to point this out. Your Blessing of the Kings is the same as before, but it does not increase your stamina. Probably good to know, but it does increase his strength, agility, and intellect. Your Blessing of Might no longer increases your attack power, and it also no longer increases MP5. It is now a straight mastery buff for a decent amount. It's 2,434 at level 88. I'm sure it will increase next level. Moving right along, all classes pick up Devotion Aura. I do not know what level this is because I had it at level 85. So I'm assuming probably 84, 83. It seems like something you would pick up a little bit later in the leveling process. But it inspires all your party members and raid members. Inspires all party and raid members within 40 yards, granting them immunity to silence and interrupts during silence and interrupt effects, and reducing magical damage taken by 20%, including yourself. So, Paladins, this is another defensive cooldown. You should use it. Be smart. Smarter than the abilities you have. Everyone has all of these. We've seen the talent. Guardian of the Ancient Kings. You summon this big guy up for 12 seconds, and he grants you a straight 50% damage reduction. Hammer of the Righteousness causes weakening blows. Does current 20% weapon damage to your current target, and then X amount of holy damage to all other targets within range. And of course, Weakening Blows demoralizes the target, reducing their physical damage dealt by 10% for 30 seconds. It no longer does 4 times the amount of damage like it used to, which makes me sad, but it's okay, I guess. All of your hand spells, except for Hand of Purity, are the same and pretty decent. You should always be using these if you're in groups. You still have your Hammer of Wrath. You still have your Flash of Light, which, when done right, won't cost that much, and it's instant. Holy Wrath stuns demons and undead. You can glyph for it, and it'll stun, Dragonkins and Elementals. Same as before, on a 9-second cooldown. Pretty Nice. Of course, you're going to want to probably have your Righteous Fury up no matter what, anyway. Nope. Reckoning the same. You no longer have your Righteous Defense. You have 1 taunt. Please remember that if you're grouping up. Anyone who is not a Paladin, please remember this. Please. You do not have the same ability to hold on to targets like you did. given that we do have the 500% or whatever it is threat, it still doesn't matter if DPS are being stupid and unload on a target before you can gather the appropriate threat. Use markings, keybind them, be better players. Moving right along. Shield of Righteousness grants you the Bastion of Glory buff. Good buff. This increases the strength of your Ward of Glory when used to heal yourself by 32%, stacks 5 times. What, 30? I'm doing math and it hurts. So that's basically, it's 160% increased when healing yourself. I'm kind of proud of myself. We also have, and all classes have this, but specifically since it was added, we're going to go over it. You may now store an additional 2 holy power beyond the maximum of 3. No ability consumes more than 3 holy power, though. So you can save up to 5, and if you notice right here, these 2 little dot or little things, that's where they're held. So moving right along, we still have a lot of our other abilities. Haste affects the cooldown and global cooldown of your Judgment, Crusader Strike, Hammer of Righteousness, Consecration, Holy Wrath, and Hammer of Wrath. I do find this to be slightly interesting. This means that if you have a piece of gear that has haste on it and you want to reforge it over, it still gives you some benefits. Now, does that mean go actually, I do want to check something. Just kind of go over this. I have not considered doing this yet, which is odd. 3, 14, and all right. Let's go to our stats real quick. Oh no, actually, we'll just go down here. Okay, what all does it affect? Sorry, guys. Crusader Strike. So I took about, what is it, 13.13 seconds off. And I am in no way, shape, or form leaning toward haste. A total of 3%. So, I think this is good. I'm not going to say anyone should go, like, forging for it, but it definitely gives it some appeal. Moving right along, though, sorry. I had to check that. Sanctuary decreases damage taken. Armor increased. Heart of the Crusader increases mounted movement speed by 20%. Selfless Healer, we went over that already. Guarded by the Light increases your total stamina by 15%, your block chance by 10%, reduces the chance that you will be critically hit by melee attacks by 6%. Word of Glory is no longer on the global cooldown. Oh, didn't realize that. Your spell power is equal to 50% of your attack power. Oops. And you no longer benefit from any other sources of spell power. Sad face. Grand Crusader. Your Crusader Strike and Hammer of Righteousness hits have a 20% chance to refresh the cooldown of your Avenger's Shield and causing it to generate a charge of holy power if used within 6 seconds. So another ability that, if it procs, will allow this to give you 3 holy power. Ridiculous. And amazing. Turn evil still sucks. That poor thing. Supplication. For 8 seconds after you kill an enemy that yields experience or honor, your flashlight will critical. We went over that a second ago in combination with everything. Vengeance, of course, you take X amount of damage. Blah, blah, blah. Where's my mastery? Oh, there it is. Divine Bulwark. Increases the effectiveness of your Shield of Righteousness and Bastion of Glory by 20% and increases the chance to block melee attacks by 20%. So, let's see. It's 13% without the thing, and with it, it increases it to 20. So 7% with 2,434 mastery. So that gives you kind of an idea of how the numbers work.